Hello everyone and welcome back to Factorio Space Exploration Plus. I'm Havoc and let's do this. So, I have been collecting resources, running my little monster of a blueprint over here and getting things built. I've done a lot of clearing over here to my right. Oh, well, you can't see it because I don't have radars just yet. Working on that. And speaking of that, I have researched the electric mining drills, which just search here. I'll show you. I researched that one. Takes 100 red science packs, but I've already taken care of that. And I am working towards the regular electric labs, radars, and a few other things that I need to progress over here. And as that's going, I've been filling up this with resources, letting it run and build me all the things that I need while I clear room over there. We're going to do the same thing again here, because as you can tell, my crafting queue down here in the bottom left is also running, making lots of wonderful things, specifically nanobots right now. And I will use those nanobots to build the blueprint that I'm about to place down. When we're moving into electricity now, and the one thing I'd really like to point out to anybody that's playing this is that down here you have electric poles. You have two variants. You have one that can be made out of wood and one that can be made out of iron. I would suggest making all of your electric poles out of iron, because the small iron electric pole is a resource requirement for crafting the medium pole, whereas the wooden one is not. So any wooden pole you use will never be, any one you craft will never be used again. It's just going to be put away whenever you stop using it. So I would suggest when you craft them to make the small iron electric poles. And then you're making an investment for the next tier. We're going to place our blueprint down over here. Here it is. And this isn't a full factory yet. It's just a little thing to get stuff going, more automated than what I have to the left. Because what I have over there on the left, I have to run over and fill that thing up constantly. And if I'm not there to put the stuff in, it stops running. So here, having this blueprint, I can switch over to my nanobots and just let them build for me. They're much slower than regular robots are. You can make them faster with research, but you'll never be able to use them multiple times. And that's something that will cause issues for some people. They want to get to regular bots as soon as possible. But I'm okay with using these for right now. That way I don't have to sit here and click each of these things. And anyone that's played Factorio for any extent of time knows that you're quite liable to misclick constantly. Whereas the nanobots, they don't misclick. They only place what's down in a blueprint. But what I need are some electric mining drills. And I'll go ahead and craft those by hand, but I want to rip up the drills that I have down right now and repurpose those, because as you see, burner miner drills are used in the recipe for the electric drill. And that's due to AAI Industries. It really makes a lot of things as requirements for their upgraded versions. So it alters the production chains heavily from what people are used to in vanilla Factorio. Alright, let me run over here and grab more of what I need. Mainly, I need a lot of these inserters. I may just craft a handful. This is making them for me, but slowly. And we're going to go ahead and stop the production here of iron sticks. And I have 50 burner inserters in here that can be changed into regular inserters. So I'm not too worried about it. Let's go ahead and craft a handful of those. And I will probably, yes, need more electric poles. I don't even know how many are in this small blueprint. Quite a few, I know that much. I just don't know the exact number. And this blueprint isn't a fully completed, it does everything you need. It just gets stuff started, and I'll be able to feed it through conveyor belt, and it can start producing for me. Now, I'm going to need some power production, and right now all I have access to is the burner turbine generator. So that doesn't require any water to work. It just requires a burnable fuel. And this is where, did I research? I did. So you can research fuel processing in this mod pack. And that allows, oh wait a minute, we're out of science. That is due to the fact that we are lacking iron over here to make gears. And copper over here. I want to keep that running at least a little bit, and we can stop this. And that way I'm still getting a little bit of progress, even though I'm not manually filling them constantly. I'm just going to go ahead and pick all of this up and place electric drills down on this and start it feeding my production over at the little setup that we have. Okay. I'm going to have to, because it's such a small little area, gonna have to be really interesting. I don't usually do a lot of undergrounds, but I'm going to have to over here so that I can power everything. And have enough drills down. I could power everything without any undergrounds over here. But I also want to make sure that I cover the patch as completely as I can. Let's see, where will I squeak this through over here? Something along the lines of that. Oop. And we will make a few more splitters, a few more undergrounds, and a few more mines. Let's see. I think what I'm actually going to do is go ahead and pick this up completely here. And in fact, I can have my nanobots do that for me. Just make sure I stay on the construction bots, and as long as I have a... Oh, okay, wait a minute. That's not good. My inventory is filling quickly. I forgot about how much coal is in each of these items. So I will cancel. I can't put it back in my inventory because my inventory is full. Okay, let's put some coal down to make a little bit of space here. And what I'll go ahead and do is just fill these up. They're going to need coal anyways. These are going to take stone. And that frees up some space. Alright, let's try this again and see if I instantly fill up with coal again. Yep, okay. Let's run over here. Just pick all of this up. And then I'll reuse all of these items here when I'm expanding what I'm working on. Just trying to think logically about, let's see, this will be iron. Wow, that's funny. If I had just brought it down one lower, it'd be straight all the way across. I won't worry about it too much because all of this is temporary anyways. But this middle line is coal. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have my power grab off of this line and fill itself. So I don't want to use the coal. You know, actually, thinking about this, I think I'm going to take the coal and immediately run it through fuel processors and then have them take the processed fuel out. The processed fuel will be what I run all of my machines with. And I don't know how much room I'm going to need in order to do this. So we'll do something like that. And now I will fill these up. And what these do is they consume any type of chemical fuel, and they give you 110% of that value towards creating a processed fuel. Processed fuel has really good vehicle acceleration, vehicle top speed, and it has 10 megajoules of fuel value. And that will come down here, and that'll be what I use to fuel everything else. So I'm getting 10% more fuel value out of everything that I mine over here. And we will go ahead, put down a lot of these. And then as I start doing this with electric mining, it'll automate this process for me. And I'm going to put my power plants, as I said, coming off of this line right here, somewhere close to the end of it. And I'm using burner inserters for all this. In case I happen to run out of power, I would like this whole system to be able to function if there's just a little bit of fuel on the line, rather than if I used regular inserters that require electricity, it would not function until I get some electricity going again somehow, which would probably require me to come over and put it in by hand. Alright, can I sneak through here without getting any copper? So there, I'll get copper. And that is not what I would like. Now I'll just run this with a regular belt. And tie it in over here with a splitter / merger. These power poles are going to be placed quite messy to begin with. All I'm trying to do is get this functioning. And to do that, I just need to get over to here. There we go. And I'll go ahead and put all that coal in there by hand. Okay, that's looking good. Let's make some more inserters by hand and then go get the iron powered so it can start producing, because we already hooked up the conveyor belt that heads over here. But I'm going to get this all set up and functioning, and I will get back to you guys when we're there. And we're back. I have added lots more drills over here to all of our tiny little patches. I have expanded our fuel production here and our power production here. Then if you come down here, you'll see everything flows in automatically into our smelting area and on into here. The blueprint is finished. I upgraded all of the assembly machines to electric assembly machines because I don't feel like running around and throwing fuel into everything. The whole point of doing this is to automate everything. We want to get everything running here without any need for us to run back and forth and ferry materials and keep things fueled. And that's what we have. Everything is fueled, everything is powered by the fuel that we're producing, and everything is running. Now this is not a perfect ratio of any sort. There's nothing is mathed out to be perfect. And that's why we're consuming every ounce of iron plate that we produce over here. But what this does is it runs and it will make everything slowly, and it just trickles each of the individual items in. And I'll give you a closer view of what we have going on here. So the main thing and what consumes your resources first and foremost is going to be your science, which I don't have anything running right now, so this is backed up. And that will allow our gears to travel further down the line and make motors, further down the line and make belt and undergrounds and splitters, and also produce inserters. And if it can make it past there, each splitter is doing 50-50 when it can. When it finally makes it down to here, it will make some assembly machines, and then at the very end, miners if we have extra resources. And up here, this is just making the electric motors, because as I've showed you before in AAI, you get these new recipes that you have to work with, the motor and then the electric motor and many other things. Speaking of, I need to make some more green circuits using the wood that's in my inventory. So all I need to do is grab this lovely copper coils here, copper cable as it's called. Alright, so the whole point of this is now I can start designing larger, more efficient lines. I can set up a smelting array that will produce an entire full belt, yellow belt output of a material and start building that, and I don't have to worry about standing around and waiting for myself to pocket craft, as I call it, handcraft all of the materials and sit there and wait and handcraft and wait. This setup is producing what I need to go expand, including way over here, furnaces. Now I am going to go ahead and get some tech running again. We're going to go for just basically everything that is just red tech. I want to go ahead and get knocked out because I could do that automatically. I am going to prioritize the things that are more important to me, such as getting into heavy armor and more inventory space, the steel axe so I can gather faster by hand. And if you look down here, some of y'all might have already noticed, I have the mod, quality of life researches, or quality of life research, which allows me to do research that increases my personal crafting speed, small tweaks to my inventory, basic mining speed increases, movement speed increases. Again, it starts small, but as you do more of them, you start to see a notice. And then reach. This one is probably my favorite, being able to reach further away. But it comes in incredibly handy as you start getting into more complicated builds, and you can't necessarily, you can run over to the stuff, but it's a hassle, so you don't want to. You know, now that I'm thinking about this, I probably need to go ahead and get some extra damage and shooting speed and get some radars down so I can see how far out my pollution cloud is going. And if we're starting to get close to any biters, that may be an issue. So, well, I've got that on the brain. That's what we're going to do real fast. Just need a few electric motors. And the whole reason I have these surplus lines that come out at the end are for when I need moments like this, where I want to just come down here and grab a few. Now my first radar, I'm just going to plop down over here near my power production. And that will give me vision over my base even when I'm not here, my factory. But it will also start scanning the map. And if I look over here, I can see that I'm barely going off here, but primarily my cloud of pollution is going to the north. So I'm going to run some power up in that direction and see just how bad it's getting, or how close I'm getting to potential baddies in that direction. And on the topic, can I make... Let me grab the stuff I need to make the submachine gun and start handcrafting some ammo in my inventory. I'm just getting that feeling that it's getting close to the time that I might get attacked. And I don't want to be caught with my pants down. I want to be prepared. The pistol is next to useless, so I just immediately go for the machine gun. And doing the tech into increasing my physical projectile damage and shooting speed will definitely help. I need to get some armor crafted for myself as well. But we'll come up to right about here, which is roughly the edge of where the map was, and put that down. And it immediately, oh hey, crude oil. It immediately shows the area within its range. So I can see anything in here thanks to the radar. I can just look around and say, alright, I don't have to be here. I am here, but I can look back at the base and I can see what's going on there thanks to this radar. But this will expand my vision to the north. And in fact, I can already see most of the pollution cloud and see that there are no biters here. So I'm safe for now. I'm just going to manually expand the map in this direction. And take a peek at how much crude oil we have over here. %,000% yield. Okay. And I'm sure people have noticed running on different ground types affects your movement speed That's thanks to the Alien Biomes mod that's added in this mod pack. I think it's neat. Sometimes it's a pain. Snow, sand slows you down significantly, and it can be aggravating when you're trying to get somewhere in a hurry and get something done. But I think it makes sense. You know, in real life, if you try and run through sand, it's not very easy. It slows you down. So they're just adding in realistic terrain types and their related physics, which I can appreciate. Let's make sure. Now we'll come in and get those researches that I wanted to get, and that includes basic reach and the warehouse. So we've got this running, and it's just going to need a little time to do what it needs to do, and I need to plan out where exactly I'm going to build my production lines and how they're going to flow. That's nice to have uranium right here. What I need to do is, I'm seeing all of my resources are kind of in a semicircle here, and I already have my base expanding in this direction. I think I want to put another radar down out there and look to expand eastward to my right and see if I am going to have any trouble building in that direction and really just getting things going over there, because that seems like the direction to go in. Let's do this right here, power from here. And I'll use my nanobot, the termite bots and the construction bots to clear out the space off camera and get things ready and really start expanding now that I have stuff automated and just happening for me. Which is the whole point of this game, automation. You get stuff being made for you and then you expand what's being made for you. Yeah, see this direction, there's some coal out here, but I can really head out this way. Just want to get that one rock. Let's come over here and see how big this coal is. Ooh, it's pretty large. 73 million, okay. So, and there's some iron down here. Alright, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a look around and see what's going on in different directions and see what we're going to do. And maybe that will be in the next episode where I can start building a legitimate production line and smelting arrays and get going with a decent size, again, starter base, but one that runs at a more optimum efficiency. So we will see you later.